I think we're going to have a little bit of a storm tonight.
I'm loud enough for you to hear me. So, my name is Jenny Geisbauer. I am the Executive Director of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library Foundation, and we welcome you and thank you for being here with us tonight for Final Draft. How many of you have been to Final Draft before? How many are coming back to Final Draft? You already feel it, don't you? Yes, everybody. Final Draft is a quarterly series that the Foundation and the Friends Council put on together. We do really cool people doing really cool things in a brewery. As we move forward, if you know some good local authors that should be up here, please let us know, because what we're really trying to focus on is our growing author scene in Charlotte, and we have a lot of them. And tonight we have one of the best. So, for those who don't know much about the Library Foundation, we've been around since 2012. We raise support for our library system, and specifically around programming, general support for the endowment, as well as technology in our collection. So if you haven't supported us, we hope you will. Those who have been here and supported this event through a ticket and an additional donation, thank you so much. And you will be asked at the end of the evening to support us, so be ready. And don't leave before then. But now I am going to bring up here Chuck Barger. If you know, who knows Chuck Barger? Woo! Market? This is Mr. Common Market. He's also Mr. Wonderful, and he's a great friend of the Library Foundation and one of the most creative souls in Charlotte. So Chuck, would you like to introduce your friend?
I'm honored to be able to introduce Gavin tonight. Gavin is a great writer, he's a great friend, and he's a great asset to our community. I got to know Gavin from my book club. We're in the slightly difficult reading society. We read entertaining, short, challenging books that are at least 30 years old. We have a great time. We have a great time in there. And Gavin is my go-to person for anything about popular culture or rock and roll. Gavin's the man to ask. But a little more about Gavin's career. Gavin is a New York Times best-selling author of over 12 books, including The Tao of Bill Murray, which we'll hear about more tonight. The Last Night at the Viper Room, which is a fascinating tale about the death of River Phoenix and how it affected Hollywood from then on. Another book, The World According to Tom Hanks, which came out a year or so ago, and a book called Excuse Me While I Kiss the Sky, which is a series of mismangled musical lyrics. This October, Gavin has a new book that will be published by HarperCollins called Kindness and Wonder, Why Mr. Rogers Matters More Than Ever. So I think that's something we probably all want on our Christmas list. Gavin has been a longtime contributor at Rolling Stone, Wired, Billboard, Decals, GQ, and has appeared on The Today Show, Entertainment Tonight, and Jeopardy. He has moonlighted as a game designer, a photographer, and a demolition derby driver. I have to get him to tell us about that. He and his family have lived in Charlotte since 2015. My favorite fact about Gavin is that he is on retainer for the New York Times to write rock and roll obituaries. Isn't that cool? Yes. So he writes these are written in advance of a celebrity's death and kept on file, so they're really easy to update at the time. And to date, he has only had one published, that is for Dr. John, the singer-songwriter legend who passed on earlier this summer. So without anything else, Mr. Gavin.
Testing. Hey, hi everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm so happy to be here. So, you're standing on a street corner, you're waiting for the light to change, you're daydreaming, you haven't had enough coffee, you're not paying attention to the world around you. Then somebody comes up behind you, puts their hands over your eyes and says, "Guess who?" You haven't played this game since approximately 3rd So, but, like you might be freaked out, but it sounds like a friend. It sounds like somebody you know. It's a man, it's familiar, you're not quite sure. Suddenly, as he puts his hands over your eyes, he takes them away again. You look around and you see international film star Bill Murray. He's taller than you expected. He's got a sly smile. He looks like he's been sleeping in the same shirt for about a week. So, you sputter. You have no idea what to say. It's very hard to integrate this into reality. And Bill leans in and says, "No one will ever believe you." Bill Murray actually does this. Bill Murray also makes eloquent toasts at the bachelor parties of strangers. Bill Murray steals popcorn from people at the movie theater. Bill Murray goes skydiving in Chicago. Bill Murray drives abandoned steamrollers down the street in New York City. Bill Murray joins random kickball games. Bill Murray crashes at his president's funeral. Bill Murray reads poetry to construction workers. Bill Murray makes the world a better place, one adventure at a time. So let me tell you a story. It's October 2006. Bill's in Scotland. There's a celebrity golf tournament going on in St. Andrews. Bill's crazy about golf. Caddyshack is basically the true story of his teenage years. So after a hard day on the links, he goes to a bar. He meets some Norwegian exchange students. They're there. They're studying social anthropology in Scotland. They drink. They say, "Hey, there's a party. You want to come?" Bill says, "Sure. Why not?" So off they go through the cobblestone streets. They get to this house. More Scandinavian exchange students. But the party's not really in full swing. Even so, they've already run out of the clean glasses. Bill's cool. Drinks vodka from a coffee cup. And he notices, well, the party's not really started yet. So he goes into the kitchen and he rolls up his sleeves, starts washing the dishes. So, as Bill tells it, he said, "I looked around, it was like a college dorm. And kind of like a dorm, it was a mess. And I realized, well, I gotta do something. I can't stand still. So I just started doing the dishes." So Bill's diligently scraping fried pasta off the plate. Word spreads. Bill's at the party. People start to show up. Even more Scandinavian exchange students. Pretty soon they run out of liquor, but people stick around for a while anyway. The party's acquired its own momentum. Bill explained, you can't just walk in and walk out. That feels weird. But if you walk into someone's houses, and then you do all the dishes, and then you walk out, you feel like you made a contribution. So, I'm going to show you Bill's Christmas card from a few years back. And I'm doing this not only because he sent it out to all his friends, but because he also sent a copy of Rowdy Roddy Piper, the professional wrestler, who he had never met. Now, Rowdy Roddy Piper was understandably confused, but of course he's also delighted. Like you get this in the mail. It's like getting photographic proof that Santa Claus exists. So a few years back, I had lunch with Melissa McCarthy. She's delightful. Oh, funny. There we go. And we talked about Bill Murray because we're both kind of obsessed. She's probably even more obsessed than me. She actually had t-shirts made up for her entire family with Bill Murray's picture on the front. And so at a certain point, I say to her, I feel like Bill Murray is secretly teaching us all how to live. She said, yes, me too. So here's the thing. Bill Murray crashes strangers' karaoke sessions. Bill Murray will pay kids $5 if they drive their bicycle into a swimming pool. His friends have nicknamed him the Murricane. But he doesn't do these things just to be a wacky clown. Bill Murray has a philosophy of life, like a way of being, a Tao. But he wants you to figure it out for yourself. So I met Bill a few years ago in Toronto, and I said, why do you do this? What do you want other people to get out of it? Bill said, my hope always is that it's going to wake me up. And if I see somebody who's out cold on their feet, I'm going to try to wake that person up. It's what I want someone to do for me. Wake me the hell up and come back to work. Come back to the planet. Well, I asked him, how often do you need to be woken up? And he said, every day, really. I seconds and minutes at a time sometimes. And sometimes you go, holy cow, I've been asleep for 2 days. I've been doing things, but I've just been out. I get a little better as time goes on, but it's amazing how it gets harder. The better you get at something, life just gives you a little more challenge. So if you follow the Tao of Bill Murray, what will you get out of it? Greater mental alertness? Sure. More creativity? Absolutely. A better connection with other human beings? Yes. And that means a better life. Let's do it! I've studied Bill's life. I've spoken with tons of people who've had crazy encounters with him. I've interviewed the man, and I've broken down his philosophy into a set of 10 principles. A Draught. Let me tell you about them. Number 1, objects are opportunities. Take the physical objects around you and use them in creative ways. Like a golf cart. So, it's another golf tournament. This one's the Scandinavian Masters in Sweden. It's around 3:30 a.m. Bill is in downtown Stockholm, driving a golf cart through the streets. The cart had been parked outside Bill's hotel, and Bill and some friends had liberated it. Now, you probably want to know Bill's explanation. He said it started off as a passenger, being driven to the party by a friend, who may not exactly have had permission to borrow the golf cart. And Bill said, I was taken to the party by people who did not feel they could drive the golf cart back. They said, we'll lose our license if I go to drive the golf cart back. I said, I won't lose my license. That's what used to make America great. People helping out, pitching in. So he drives the golf cart through the streets of Stockholm. It's after 3 a.m. He's got 6 passengers hanging on the back. He's dropping them off at various locations like it's the beta test for some new ride-sharing app. In the very back, there's 2 drunk Swedish guys hanging on, singing a Cat Stevens song. So Bill's driving around, and the very last 2 people want to be dropped off at a 7-Eleven. Apparently, there are 7-Elevens in Stockholm. So, Bill's in the parking lot, and that's when the police see him. They call him over. They figure he's driving a golf cart through the streets. He's probably drunk. Bill's explanation that he's a golfer somehow does not assuage them. Bill tells the police, I'm sorry, but where I'm from, you have to act stupid or goofy or hit something or be driving erratically. You're just assuming that I'm drunk because I'm driving a golf cart at 3:30 in the morning. Bill doesn't want to take a breathalyzer test, so they migrate to the police station to give him a blood test. Bill eventually signs a document conceding that he had had something to drink and saying that he can plead guilty in absentia if it ever comes before a judge. Bill is then released and allowed to leave Sweden. If you're curious, the blood work eventually comes back and his blood alcohol was 0.03%, which is way below what we would have for an American DUI, which is 0.08. But Sweden is much stricter at 0.02. So Bill Murray has to pay a fine. According to Bill, for having any amount of alcohol and having a golf cart, you have to pay something. It's a courtesy, I guess. Number 2, surprise is golden. Randomness is lobster. So, it's 1988. Bill's browsing in a bookstore and he buys Making Out in Japanese. This is a phrase book designed for English speakers who want to go to Japan and date Japanese speakers. So, it's got whole chapters of colloquial phrases for lovers. Things like, you have a beautiful body, and I don't want to get married yet. I thought it was so stupid. I don't know why I bought it, Bill says. But 14 years later, it's 2002, he finds out why. Bill's filming Lost in Translation, so he goes to Tokyo and he brings the book along. It made my life so much fun, he said. So, on the set, Bill will look a Japanese crew member right in the eye and say in Japanese, I really don't love you anymore. So I'm going to change my phone number. So, while Bill's out in Tokyo, goes out for sushi a lot, and he brings along the book. So Bill meets a burly sushi chef. They'll strike up a conversation, break the ice with, do your parents know about me? Or, do you have a curfew? Or, can we get in the back seat? Or, my favorite, do you mind if I use protection? So, Bill points out, these guys all have knives, but they also have senses of humor, and they're all glad to, they get that there's this crazy American who's trying to make some sort of connection, even if it's fractured Japanese with crazy sex talk. So, one Japanese phrase that's particularly potent is "dare ni mukate mano itendayo." That translates as, who do you think you're talking to? Usually, that's going to be said by somebody who's got higher status. It gives the other person one last chance to back down. So if Yakuza says that to you, the colloquial translation would be, now you're going to die. So, Lost in Translation, directed by Sofia Coppola, and they're a shoestring crew. Just a few people, and what she's doing is she moves in, she gets the shot, they move out, they don't get permits, they just figure, hit and run, do this without asking permission, and it's all going to work out, we won't get into trouble. So they usually don't have a makeup trailer or sort of a costume trailer. What they do is they'll just rent a hotel room where the actors can get ready. So, one morning, it's 5:30 a.m., Bill's in one of those hotel rooms, he comes out in the hallway of the hotel, he's made up, he's dressed up, and it's 2002, the iPod has just come out, he's got his first iPod, he's got the earbuds in, and he's singing along loudly to the Beatles, "Hey Jude!" So, down the hall, the door opens, guy steps out in a robe, he did not request the 5:30 a.m. Hey Jude wake-up call. He's kind of pissed. He's storming down the hall, saying something very angry in Japanese. And Bill just looks him in the eye and says, "Dare ni mukato mano itendayo." The guy turns white. He turns around, runs back to his room, slams the door, locks the door, is not seen again. Number 3. Invite yourself to the party. So, what about Bob? 1991 film, stars Bill Murray, Richard Dreyfuss, mostly set in Lake Winnipesaukee, small vacation town in New England. It's set in August, because that's when psychiatrists go on vacation. But the production is shooting in the fall, so they need a place that is going to not have leaves turning golden orange. They need it to look like New England. So they actually film in Unita, Virginia, a small town on the Smith Mountain Lake. Anyone? All right! So, nearest town is Roanoke, about an hour away. We were in the boondocks, Bill said, on this man-made lake with nothing to do, and I mean the middle of nowhere, not even much television. Then, Bill found out MC Hammer was coming around. So, it's 1990. It's 1990. Hammer is at the height of his career. He's touring behind the multi-platinum Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him album, and the single, of course, is You Can't Touch This. So Bill charters a bus. He brings 55 members of the cast and crew to the show. They're cruising down the highway, they've got a boombox, they're blasting tunes, they're drinking moonshine from a jar. At the venue, Hammer's people are delighted to see Bill. They've been touring around, they're playing small cities, what they call tertiary markets, so not a lot of VIP action. So they invite Bill backstage and say, well, how many people did you bring with you? All of them, Bill says. Points to the line, going through the parking lot. That's fine. They've got 55 people, they've got seats on the side of the stage. Everyone's cool. So, Hammer invites Bill to come join him on stage. Or as Bill describes it, this incredible elevated stage that have lots of dancers and lots of musicians not playing their instruments. Hammer encourages Bill to do the Hammer dance, the routine that You Can't Touch This, that requires a lot of hopping, a lot of spinning, and a lot of sidestepping. I did the dance, Bill said. Surprisingly, I knew all the steps, but I learned why he wore those chef's pants. During Hammer time, Bill's got the wide stance, and he splits his pants right down the back. Now, he's been on location for a month at this point, so he's not wearing it. He's run out of clean underwear. Bill's going commando. Luckily, among the 55 on the side of the stage is Jennifer Butler, who's the costumer for the movie. She's got safety pins. So Bill heads over, she patches him up. He goes back on stage, does not miss a beat, finishes the dance routine. So the flip side of number 3, invite yourself to the party, is number 4, make sure everybody else is invited to the party. Yes. All right. For many years, Bill Murray lived in upstate New York, and he's a regular customer of this wine store called the Great Divide, run by this very friendly guy named Joe Prince. Joe gets used to unusual visits from Bill. There's one day, it's an apocalyptic rainstorm outside. Nobody's driving, nobody's stepping outside, except Bill shows up on a scooter. Comes in soaking wet, but he's wearing this unusual white helmet with like a flag decal action on the side. Turns out he had just bought it at auction. It previously belonged to Evel Knievel, who used it for his Snake River jump. So, another day, snowy winter day, Bill and Joe are hanging out. Joe opens a bottle of Barolo, nice Italian wine. They're hanging out, having a drink. Customers keep walking in the store, and they say, it's Bill Murray. And they freak out a little bit, but they're trying to be cool. So what that means is they sort of hang out in the general vicinity of Bill Murray, kind of listening. Yeah, and so pretty soon, Bill and Joe are drinking, but there's a small crowd gathered around them, like hanging on their every word. So Bill's feeling a little crowded. He hands off his wine glass to a woman in the crowd, and he goes out into the snow. There, gathers up a handful of snow, makes a perfect snowball, hurls it down the street, hits this guy walking away right between the shoulder blades. The guy turns around, is not happy. You know, like he comes down the block, he is about to like, sir, I'm gonna fuck this guy up. And then he sees it's Bill Murray. And like he starts laughing. So, reached out, he gets a snowball of his own, pegs Bill. Everyone starts coming out of the store. And so pretty soon you have like a street full of adults, middle of the day, having a huge snowball fight. So, the corollary here, if you're trying to follow in Bill's footsteps, read the room. Bill has an excellent sense of exactly how much he can get away with at any given moment. You know, if you do it right, you're the acrobatic ringleader of good times. If you do it wrong, you're just the biggest asshole of the party. As Bill puts it, it's not so much what you do, but the way in which you do it. I can slap you on the back and it can be a wonderful thing. Or I can slap you on the back and you've just come out of the elevator and I've had too much to drink, and it's a completely different thing. Read the room. Number 5. Music makes the people come together. So, Moonrise Kingdom, 7th movie directed by Wes Anderson, which means it's the 6th of his movies that stars Bill Murray. It also stars Ed Norton, Bruce Willis, Frances McDormand, Harvey Keitel, many other people. Many of them up there. Also working on Moonrise Kingdom is this guy, Andrew Ruthius, the personal assistant to Harvey Keitel. So, Andrew spends his summers working as a camp counselor, and he's a huge, huge Bill Murray fan. So he is really looking forward to this. Harvey's going to be on the set for 5 days. That means Andrew's going to be on the set for 5 days. He's like, I am going to have my Bill Murray moment. So, he doesn't want to bother Bill on the set. Bill has 6 sons. One of them, Cooper, is in the movie as Khaki Scout, those little Boy Scout guys you see there. So when Bill's off camera, he's spending most of his time with them. But everyone's staying at the same hotel. Andrew figures he'll run in, they'll have an encounter. One day after another passes, Andrew just is not meeting Bill. For some reason, it's not happening. On the last night, he gives up. Harvey Keitel goes to bed. Andrew's off the clock. It's close to midnight. Says, didn't happen, that's life. Goes down to the hotel bar. Talks to the concierge. The concierge says, hey, Bill Murray shows up, I'll tell you, but I'm not expecting anything. So Andrew goes in, orders a drink, and asks the bartender, like, hey, mind if I screw around on the piano? She said, sure, nobody ever uses it. So Andrew goes, starts playing. 10 seconds later, Bill Murray comes in. Turns out there's a billiard room right next door, and you had no idea about. Bill hears the music, he is there. So you can't rely on Bill Murray to get the party started for you. But you do something cool, cool people will show up, especially if music's involved. So, hello? Oh, hello.
Oh, no.
All right. Yes, all right. I will project. Can everyone hear me? Everyone cool? All right. So Bill's got two middle-aged women with him. And Bill comes in, gets the bartender to make appetitis for everybody. Oh, is that working? Now you're going to put it through my shirt. It's going to be ghostly. There we go. So, all right. So, bartender, Bill Murray, appetitis. It's on. And they all gather around the piano, and Bill is singing along with Andrew. Everything that Andrew can throw his way, Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen, Fill Me Up Buttercup, and Andrew starts playing every song you can think of that relates to Bill's film career. So, More Than This from Lost in Translation, Do Wah Diddy from Stripes, the CIT theme song from the Meatballs, and of course, the theme from Star Wars, as done on Saturday Night Live. Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. Bill knows the words to them all. So, I was having a one-on-one with Nick the lounge singer, Andrew says. He was standing right behind me, yelping the way he yelps, singing the way he sings. I must have been drunk because all we were doing was drinking appetitis. But I remember it so clearly. I can't even say it was a dream come true because I never imagined it could happen. So they play and sing for 5 hours. Around 4 a.m., the concierge comes in, like abandons his post and does a song with them. Finally, around 5, Bill says, "This is great, but I gotta catch an airplane." So the 2 women who are with him, they catch a cab, they go crash at their hotel. And before Bill leaves, he looks at Andrew and he says, "Listen, I am lousy with names, but I'm great with faces. You ever see me anywhere, you come up and you say hello." And he reaches into his pocket and fishes out like a sweaty wad of cash. And like Andrew's told him about the summer camp. And he presses it into his hand and say, "If you're ever at camp, the counselors are having a bad day, you buy them all pizza, and you tell them that Bill loves them." Number 6, drop the coin on the world. So Bill Murray has these moments of epic generosity. He shows up at a conference for the biodiversity of the sturgeon. Yes, the fish. And he works the crowd, and then before he leaves, he throws a crumpled check that is a signed blank check. And he tries to maintain that spirit, even when he's in death sentence. So, Groundhog Day, maybe the most delightful, uplifting movie Bill is ever going to make. But he had a miserable time making it. He was going through a divorce at the time, and he was not getting along with Harold Ramis, the director. They were just at loggerheads. So Bill is showing up late to the set every day. He's showing up in a foul mood. Eventually, the producers of the movie say, "Bill, maybe things will go more smoothly if you hire a personal assistant. We'll just ease the communication." He says, "Okay, great, sure, will do." Hires a young woman, profoundly deaf. Nobody else working on the movie speaks American Sign Language. So this did not actually ease the communication. So that's what Stephen Tobolowsky is walking into when he arrives on location, which is not Punxsutawney, PA, it's Woodstock, Illinois. He's playing the insurance salesman, Ned. First day of filming for Stephen, he shows up, it's an outdoor scene. He's there around 5 a.m. He sees Bill and Harold are talking to each other, and he walks up. Harold starts introducing to Bill. Bill cuts him off. He says, "So, What are you going to do? Is it funny? Steven's a little taken aback, but he's, okay, we'll do it. It's like, he does a couple of lines of Ned. Ding! Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy. Bill holds up his head and says, okay, that's funny. You're cool. So Bill looks around. It's 5 a.m. It's dark. It's cold. There's 500 local people gathered there to watch this movie being made. Bill looks off on the horizon and says, you know what we need? No. Danishes. Lots of Danishes. And Bill takes off running. Steven's like trying to catch up. He's running behind him. Bill makes a beehive for this local bakery that he knows is open. Bursts through the door, comes in and says, I need every Danish you've got in the store. So they clean the place out. They walk out with boxes full of Danishes and bear claws and donuts. And Bill walks up to the crowd and he just starts throwing them into the crowd. And people are cheering and applauding. And so Bill took this cold, miserable crowd and he electrified them just by giving away pastries. Steven's known the guy for 10 minutes and he could not believe that this is what life is like with Bill Murray. He says, I don't think in a universe of possibilities, Bill could have done any one thing that would have united the town anymore and put them on our side. Number 7, be persistent, be persistent, be persistent. So, Bill Murray doesn't quit. He played the Pebble Beach Pro-Am for 20 years before he won the ring. Sometimes in crazier clothes than that. He had a good time along the way. He handed out drinks, he hula hooped, he climbed into trees with small children. But, crucially, he stuck with it. He's also willing to keep a joke going for years, which is where Roadhouse comes in. You all remember Roadhouse? Bill's not in it. 1989 movie starring Patrick Swayze as a superstar bouncer who knows how to rip out a man's throat with his bare hands. It is a completely ludicrous and completely entertaining movie. Yes. And it's your classic good bad movie, which is why it's on cable all the time. Now, the surprisingly classy cast includes Kelly Lynch and Sam Elliott. And Patrick Swayze and Kelly Lynch have this ridiculous sex scene where Kelly's got her legs wrapped around him and he backs her up against this stone wall in his rental apartment, even though there's a perfectly good bed right there. So, this is where Bill Murray gets involved. One of his best friends is Mitch Glazer, Hollywood screenwriter. He was introduced to him in 1977 by John Belushi. They've worked on a bunch of movies together, including Charlie's Angels. Mitch wrote Scrooge. So they've known each other a long time. Mitch ends up marrying Kelly Lynch, which means that she also gets pulled into the vortex of the hurricane. Here's how it goes. Mitch and Kelly will be hanging out, chilling at home. The phone rings, Mitch picks it up, and it's Bill Murray on the line. He's using a voice that he calls the honker, but you probably know better as Carl Spackler, groundskeeper in Caddyshack. Kelly's having sex with Patrick Swayze right now. He's throwing her against the rocks. Mitch knows this can mean only one thing. Roadhouse is on TV again. Kelly says, every time Roadhouse is on TV, and he or one of his idiot brothers is watching it, and they're always watching TV, they will call my husband and give a play-by-play commentary. So Bill has sustained this joke for years. He once saw the movie on TV in Russia, and he calls Mitch. You ask Mitch, he says, no matter what, time is 2 in the morning. It's Patrick Swayze's fucking your wife. Right? It was funny the first dozen or so times. What Kelly dreads the most is when AMC is doing a Roadhouse marathon. She knows the phone is going to be ringing. Number 8. Know your pleasures and their parameters. So, Bill Murray has strong opinions. He has a favorite car, Maserati. He has a favorite musical, Oklahoma. He has a favorite way of organizing the money in his wallet, 10s and 50s, because 20s are too big for most things. People don't like to break hundreds, and people love 50s. And he's right, it works. So that attention to detail is one of his strengths, both as an artist and as a human being. You know, he notices like the little things going on in the world that like sort of that form it. As Bill puts it, when you become an adult, when you become an adult and you get to pick your pleasures, they should be worth picking. So you don't have to have the same taste as Bill. Just know what you like. One of the things that Bill loves, though, minor league baseball. He's been a Chicago Cubs fan his entire life, but there's something restorative about minor league ball. The scale of it is on the human level. It reminds everybody that it's just a game. So Bill owns a piece of the Charleston River Dogs. That's where that is. It's just down the road. During rain delays, he's been known to run the bases, sliding on the tarp. And he spent most of the summer of 1996 in Minnesota with the St. Paul Saints. So, when he was traveling around with them, he would throw out a pitch. The PA announcer introduces him as the Ayatollah of hilarity, Bill Murray. Winds up, throws the baseball, knocks the catcher right out of the park over the grandstand. He then gives the catcher a big hug. He then embraces the umpires and he kisses each of the umpires on the lips. Later on, he's working the crowd, he's signing autographs. He signs an autograph for one fan. He says, you know, I was reading the Gettysburg Address the other day. That guy was really on to something. So, Bill actually has 2 minor league at-bats. They were both in the summer of 1978. This is after he's finished his first full season on Saturday Night Live. Ivan Reitman is begging with him, come to Canada, film meatballs, you know, like I've got this barbecue. Bill's like, I'd rather go play baseball. He's got a friend who owns this team in Washington State called the Grays Harbor Loggers. Bill goes out there, he gets into a couple of games, he also coaches first base. He has 1 strikeout, 1 single, which means he retires from organized ball with a lifetime batting average of 500. He also got arrested while he was doing this because he discovered that they were not allowed to sell alcohol at the game. So he brings a keg to the game, and a bunch of plastic cups, just walks around handing out cups of beer. So Ivan eventually wears him down. Bill goes to Canada. They make meatballs. Ivan said, from the moment he stepped into the camp and we started filming, I said, thank God I waited for him. Periodically, when we make a movie, Ivan will say, no, it's going well, Bill. This might be a hit. It means it's going to be a good use of everybody's summer. Bill would always say in response, I just wanted to play baseball. Number 9, your spirit will follow your body. So, if you're uninhibited with your body, you can also be uninhibited with your mind. Sometimes Bill will be in a restaurant, he'll catapult himself across the place, he'll fall flat on the floor in a pratfall just to get the waitress's attention for a check. He meets Sigourney Weaver for the first time, New York City street, they're there for Ghostbusters, he heaves her over his shoulder, they walk around for a while together down there. And when he went to Harvard, he played basketball. I say, what? So, this is all the fault of the Hasty Pudding Society at Harvard. The pudding does 2 things, basically. They host an undergraduate drag show every year, and they give out awards to cool celebrities. In 1985, they named the Woman of the Year was Cher, and the Man of the Year was Bill Murray. Bill shows up, but he's a little skeptical. He says, all we knew about Harvard in the Midwest was that you could get in if your father gave money to it. So, he shows up in Cambridge, Massachusetts for the day, and he has one crucial request. He wants to play in a private basketball game with the Harvard women's JV basketball team. The pudding makes this happen. So, you got a basketball court. Imagine the scene. You have 9 young women, all in top physical condition, running up and down the court, and Bill Murray, wearing a form-fitting tight sweatshirt, showing off a bit of his gut. He's also running back and forth. He is keeping up, and people who were there told me that the game went on much longer than they thought he was going to be capable. So later that night, there's the ceremony. They give Bill the award. It's a small golden pudding pot. He looks at it and says, I think you can make a casserole with this thing. And then after that, there's a party. And so Bill is spent the whole day in one of the intellectual capitals of the world, but he's embracing random physical activity. So he gets on the dance floor.
Oh my
He's got sunglasses on. He's dancing to I Can't Wait by New Shoes. And he's the Pied Piper on the dance floor. 5 Harvard women are dancing with him. Then 10, then 15, then 25. All these women dancing with Bill Murray. Number 10. While the earth spins, make yourself useful. In other words, put all this together and make the world a better place. So, the time is late at night. The city is Oakland, California. Bill Murray hails a cab. He's got a long ride ahead of him. He's going across the bridge to Sausalito. And so he starts making conversation with the cab driver, because that's what you do. And pretty quickly, he learns that the cabbie is a frustrated saxophone player. When do you practice? Bill asks him. Not very often. I'm driving the cab 14 hours a day. Well, where's the sax? It's in the trunk. So Bill says, pull over. Get your sax out of the trunk. You get in the back seat and play. I'll take the wheel. I promise you, I know how to drive a car. The guy goes for it. So, pull over. Bill's sitting there. He hears the trunk opening, and he's getting excited, like knowing what's going to happen. He's thinking, this is going to be a good one. We're both going to dig the shit out of this. So, if things had gone wrong, if the guy had been terrible, he could always have traded back. But in fact, the guy is great. Bill said you can tell this guy every day, every hour, he needed to be played. So, mission accomplished. Things have gone well. He's got an amazing saxophone soundtrack all the way to Sausalito. Then Bill thinks, let's go all the way. And he says to the guy, you feeling hungry? And he drives to Oakland, and he knows an all-night ribs place. It's a little sketchy, but it's okay. The cabbie's worried. Bill says, it's going to be fine. Tells him, relax, man. You got the fucking horn. You're cool. So they get there. They order some food. Like the other patrons are a little confused, but the saxophone player starts playing. And Bill says, the crowd's like, what the hell? Little crazy white dude playing that thing. So Bill was right. Both he and the cabbie dug the shit out of their ride together. Bill knew not to take that moment for granted. For him, it was the most natural thing in the world to make the most of that opportunity. I try to follow his example. I try to take advantage of those moments in my own life. And I think you can do that too. It made for a beautiful night, Bill said. Yes. I think we all do that. I think anyone, if you saw that moment, you'd make the connection and you'd do it. Thank you. Sometimes it's just a small part, like he's running for the train and Darjeeling, and he misses it. That's it. But he actually, Wes Anderson wanted him to be in Bottle Rocket, playing the James Caan part, but just could not figure out how to get Bill to be in the movie. But once that one happened, Bill's agents, at the time he still had agents. He's fired them since. And it was this concerted effort of everyone agreed that Rushmore was absolutely a great part for Bill. And Bill said they kept sending him videotapes of Bottle Rocket, and he had 8 of them in the house scattered around most people would have Pottery Barn catalogs. So eventually Bill reads the script. I think he never actually sees Bottle Rocket, but he reads the script and he says the voice of this guy is so distinct. It's obvious he knows what he wants, and I'm always happy to be in a movie with somebody who has a specific idea in mind. Even if it goes down in flames, you're going down with somebody who's trying for something. So he gets on the phone with Wes. They have an hour-long conversation, which for some reason is mostly Bill telling Wes the plot of the Kurosawa film Redbeard. But they hit it off, and he shows up, and they make the movie, and from there on, sort of like they're fast friends. Yes?
Did you get a chance to talk to Bill Murray yourself, or you mostly just interviewing people who
I got to talk to Bill. I mean, he didn't sort of sit down and like spill his guts on the life story, but I wrote an article for Rolling Stone about him. And I had the classic thing of, all right, so as mentioned, he has no agent, no manager, no publicist. At a certain point, he just fired them all because he wanted this, like, why do I want these people calling me? I want to do what I want to do. So I knew I wanted to write about Bill Murray, and what I figured out eventually, there's also a 1-800 number. So if you're a filmmaker and you want Bill to be in your movie, you can call 1-800. Maybe he'll pick it up, maybe he won't, but sometimes he'll go, he does have a lawyer, sometimes he'll get a call back from the lawyer and say, send him a letter, and then if he likes the letter, he sends him the script. Well, I sort of did an end run around that. Do you remember St. Vincent? The movie called St. Vincent about 5 years ago. So I got in touch with the publicist for that, and I said, hey, I want to do this. I thought at the time my idea was I wanted to do an oral history of Bill Murray, talking to everybody but Bill Murray. But I knew that because I knew it was just like impossible to get, but I also knew that I couldn't just start calling up people if he wasn't like cool with them. So months and months go by. I keep checking in, and I keep on getting a phone call saying, he said no to like 20 things last week, but he hasn't said no to you yet. and then one day I get a phone call, and he's going to talk to you like this weekend in Toronto, get on an airplane. So it is pretty much the same experience of trying to get Bill to be in the movie. That, sort of like when Sofia Coppola makes Lost in Translation, he says he does it, and then sort of like, they're hanging out in Tokyo, he hasn't shown up. Eventually he does, but it's always this nerve-wracking thing of, you don't know what's happening until the moment you actually see the guy. Yes, anyone else? Please.
Did you ever meet Patrick Swayze?
I never met Patrick No. I met like various other like random co-stars like sort of like Melissa McCarthy and like Ivan Reitman was great. My favorite like random little bit that I got out of talking to people who worked with Bill was I had a really great lunch with Ivan Reitman, and at the end I said, okay, something I've always wondered. End of Ghostbusters, why isn't Bill covered in fluff the way everyone else is? And he's like, I know! He's like, I felt like the idea was that like Bill Murray has a life where there's no consequences, and so like he wouldn't be covered in fluff. He's like, I've always regretted that. Yeah, sure.
What's your favorite?
Lost in Translation. It's just like, it's beautiful, it's funny, it's moving, and every time I watch it, I'm really taken by it. With the Rushmore being a close second. I'm also a big fan of the Bill Murray movie nobody watches that I think is really great. Has anyone seen The Man Who Knew Too Little? Yes. All right. It's just like it's this period of his career that nobody really cares about is after like the big hit movies, and it's before he became like the sort of serious Bill Murray. But it's just perfectly executed. Like it's really a delightful farce. Yes.
Do you know what Bill's favorite movie is?
I know. I don't know what Bill actually points to Lost in Translation of his own movies, if that's what you're asking. He's in other people's movies. He's mentioned Small Change in particular, like Truffaut, and Il Stecchino. I'm probably mangling the Italian, which was a movie by who's the Italian Roberto Benigni. They said was actually really wonderful. So, but I think he's one of those guys with, like, you ask him on a different day, you'll get a different answer. Yeah, he said Lost in Translation was his favorite when Sofia Coppola was standing right next to him. But he gives other directors such a hard time that I think he actually meant it. Yes, 2 more.
What's with the zombie thing?
What's with the Zombieland appearance?
No, zombie theme. I mean, zombie land, and now the dead don't die.
Oh, I think that's just like a coincidence. I mean, like it's not part of a master plan. I do love how we ended up in Zombieland, which is, for those of you who don't know, there's this scene in Zombieland which Zombieland, great movie, the post-apocalyptic zombie America, and it turns out that they go to like Bill Murray's house, and Bill Murray is like not a zombie, he's alive, he's there, there's this great encounter. So, and so Woody Harrelson is freaking out, he's like the world's biggest Bill Murray. Says, Bill fucking Murray, 6 people in the world are not zombies, and he's one of them. So, they had this scene in the movie, and they asked all these people to do it. Like they asked Patrick Swayze, they asked Joe Pesci, I think they tried to get Sylvester Stallone. Just nobody was like, it didn't have to be Bill Murray, it could be just like random celebrity. And they're about to cut the scene because they can't get anybody interested in it. And they like, just as like a Hail Mary pass, they said, let's try Bill Murray. Now, Woody Harrelson had been in a movie with Bill Murray. They were in Kingpin together. But he doesn't have his phone number. So Woody calls the 1-800 number. Leaves a message, and Bill calls back. And so like he says, all right, well, let me see the scene. They fax him the pages like at a Kinko's in New York City. And they're saying like the most important person working on this movie like today is the kid behind the counter at Kinko's. Bill loves it, comes out, does the movie, becomes great friends with Emma Stone as a result, and he was just really happy that like, this random thing that fell into his life. The way he described it was like reaching into like an old coat and finding $100 in the pocket. Last question.
You're a great storyteller. How were you inspired to start writing and telling stories?
Ever since I was a kid, I loved writing. I started out, like I remember, just like I read Alice in Wonderland when I was a kid, and I was just always devouring books. And at a certain point, you do it long enough, and you hack your way through the jungle, and you're terrible for many years, and then you're less terrible, and you're like, oh, some people want to do it.
Graduated to obituary.
Oh, no, so, all right, so obituaries, let's talk about obituaries. So, I started writing for the Times, New York Times, about 5 years ago, and that was just because I knew an editor who moved over there, and she was editing pop music stories. I knew her from Rolling Stone. And so, loved working with her. I said, like, I'm happy to do anything with you. And she was very kind, and she introduced me to, like, other people, like, other editors on the art staff. So I actually wrote something about when the Charlotte Ballet did the most incredible thing, which was this great Pet Shop Boys ballet. Because of that, I was able to like sort of get an introduction to the dance editor. And she said, "Oh, would you be interested in writing obituaries?" Like, of course, I'd be interested in writing obituaries. So I've done Dr. John. I've done Charlie Watts. I've done Frankie
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond. I've done. Thank you, Jen. I've done Frankie Valli. And then most recently Ozzy Osbourne, who I assume is going to dance on all our graves. And the rule of thumb of the Times is that they commission obituaries of interesting people who are over 70 years old. And it's like on the twin logic of number one, they're more likely to die. But number two, they probably accomplished most of the things that they're going to in life. So they're playing the actuarial table where you don't have you have a better chance of not having to update it too much. You do somebody who's in the career, every year there's a new thing and something else is happening. So it feels like a huge responsibility because most articles I do, it's in some ways like a snapshot of here's what this person's up to at this time. Like the obituary, like you're summing up their life. You gotta get it right. But I love doing it. So it's fun to do. I hope I get to do more. The only other obituary I've written before that, which I wrote something for Rolling Stone that still hasn't run because it was for Keith Richards. So I still remember my lead sentence, which was Keith Richards, the Rolling Stones guitarist. guitars, previously believed to be indestructible, died today. Thank you all for coming. Once they're book personalized, or if you're buying the other books they want to sign them, I'll be hanging out over there for a while. If you just want to come up and say hi, I'll talk to you. Thank you very much.
The secret is that you keep doing drugs. Once you get to the stage where you
There we go. All right. Hey guys, before you pack up and beat the storm, well, there's no storm anymore. We have a couple quick announcements. A huge thank you to Gavin on behalf of the Friends Council. Save the advantage of this. The Friends Council will be adding one of your books to the library collection. So a huge thank you, and we look forward to working with you again in the very future.
Thank you.
Thank you. And additionally, for all of you here, as a thank you for coming, we have a quick raffle. We're going to pull 4 different raffle tickets, and if you are the great winner, just come on up and we have a few books to give you. Yay! So, ready? Is everybody ready? Is everybody scared, nervous? Can't sleep at night? Okay. The first ticket. Oh no, it's like, no. There we go. Talia's got it right over there. 416-192. 416, oh, right over there. All right. We give me another one? Oh. 416-212. Oh. All right, so far the left side of the room is winning on the right side. All right, let's see what we got. Guess what? It starts with 416. 239. Oh. I tried, guys. I really did try. That's... All right, last one. Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's 416. 416-177. I mean, it's Gavin's. Okay.
Can you go grab it?
Oh, we have to do it again.
All right. 416-216. God, we're on such a roll. 216. Victory? Victory! All right. So huge thank you to everybody. As Jenny mentioned earlier tonight, thank you to those that already supported the library. Additionally, to put on more events like this, we do ask that you support us by coming to more final drafts, follow us on the website, go ahead and buy your tickets in advance, and of course you are more than welcome to make another gift tonight or on the website tomorrow, or tonight even. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact us on behalf of the Friends Council. Thank you. Thank you to Town Brewing, and Perfory Books is over there as well if you'd like to pick up any other books. Thank you and have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Back.